Okay, I'll be honest. Flight sims have always scared me. They look really complicated, and I am notoriously dumb. Engine on. So, when you guys recommended VTOL VR, I was skeptical. But it was pitched to me as a flight sim with training wheels on, and since I've never tried a flight sim, it seemed like a good way to test the waters. Which I did. Repeatedly. No! And I have to say, I'm so stoked that I did, because after 9 hours of sketchy takeoffs, go fly, and terrifying landings, stressful dogfights, and completely avoidable crashes, this was definitely one of the most fun and unique VR experiences I've had to date.
I'm a giraffe! Oh, Jesus.
To test how beginner-friendly it really was, I skipped the tutorials and jumped straight into a stealth fighter to see if I could get off the ground. And I did. Sorta. Oh. Man, this is gonna be easy. You kidding me? You know what, in fact... Let's jam. I got this pretty much. Oh jeez. It feels narrow. It feels like a narrow airstrip here. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh my god. No. Oh my god, can you imagine Kenny Loggins being the last thing you hear before you die? Maybe it was a little naive to think I was gonna be Top Gun right off the bat. Oh god, the wings. No way. Wait. Oh my god. Is it on fire? I'm not gonna lie, I kinda liked how it felt to fly without wings. It felt like flying in a dream. Like really floaty. Somehow I was able to take off and land in this flaming death trap, but I figured it might help to do the tutorial. Just... No way. The tutorials are a little hard to follow, but I definitely came away with a much better understanding of how all the systems work. Each vehicle has a host of systems accessible through the MFD, and it's really important to understand them before you try to fly any missions. There are plenty of detailed MFD tutorials on YouTube, so I won't be going into them, but you won't be much use in a fight if you can't figure out how to lock your target, which I learned the hard way.
Engine failure.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Engine failure. Engine failure.
Now that I had a better grasp on how things worked, I really started to have a ton of fun. I spent most of my time doing free flight missions with no enemies so I could just mess around and get good. As I was flying around, I noticed some aircraft carriers, which I was shocked to find are fully functional. I was obsessed with landing on this thing, which is funny because I have a hard enough time landing at a full-sized airstrip. But holy shit, the satisfaction I felt when I finally hooked the cable and didn't go flying off the boat was so goddamn glorious. And I was rewarded by another amazing revelation that the carrier had launch catapults. It was sick as frick. Please smash that subscribe button if you like how I do my game reviews. I love VR, and I've made it my mission to raise stoke across the VR community by showing off games that get me pumped about VR. If I get even one person out there to be as stoked as I am about VR, I'll be a happy dude. I also wanted to try out some of the campaign missions, and dude, I can see how this would be really fun if I wasn't so bad at it. The chaos of the battlefield is stressful and exciting, and I think it would be so fun to play with friends, which you can totally do if you have friends, which I don't. You can load up multiplayer dogfights with up to 6 players per team, and I just cannot even imagine how fun that would be. If you have a group that you play with, please let me join your club and teach me how to suck less. Unlike most other flight simulators which require physical inputs like a gamepad or joystick, this game was made for VR with full motion controls, and it feels great. This is also the first VR game that I have ever played seated, and I feel like I can't overstate how nice it is to be able to sit down and game in VR. I'm on my feet all day at work, and there are times when I really want a game, but the thought of standing for another 2 hours keeps me from playing. Now I can kick back on the couch and be flying at Mach 2 shooting at bad boys at the same time.
Missile on me, going evasive.
Yo, what?
I'm going down. Tell my wife I love her.
Jeez. And don't be fooled by the fact that this game is a measly 2.4 gigabytes. VTOL VR is a real flight simulator complete with realistic aerodynamics and atmosphere physics. The air literally gets thinner as you climb in altitude, which means you and your missiles can go much faster with less drag. This brings me to my favorite part of any game, the mods. There are a ton of extra vehicles you can mod into the game. You can also use mods to add new weapons, including, I don't know, nukes. There are mods to connect your streaming service to the controls in the cockpit, which is amazing. You can give the engines double thrust, turn the aircraft carriers into giant mech spiders, and of course, there's a mod to cover your airplane and helmet with waifus. It also comes with a mission editor, so you can design your very own maps and missions. VTOL VR is $29.99 on Steam, and compared to the shockingly expensive Microsoft Flight Simulator and DCS World, it's definitely the best bang for your buck. And, as an added bonus, it won't melt your GPU. I'm running this on a laptop with an NVIDIA GTX 1060 from like 2016, and it ran smooth as silk until I started streaming while doing a mission with tons of NPCs. I really need to build a PC when I can afford it, but for now, I'm just gonna put streaming on the back burner and focus on growing my YouTube channel. Even with my outdated card, this game is breathtakingly beautiful, and I highly recommend giving VTOL VR a try. Let me know in the comments what you want to see me play next, and until next time, I am wishing you the best. Thanks for sticking around. Now, go drink some water. Your body will thank you.
Over T.
Holy shit.
Over T.
Oh my god, what just happened?
Right engine failure. Left engine failure. Right engine failure. Left engine
Damn.
failure.